Well, we left Muck this morning and been under sail, sailing with I think 2 or 3 knots of breeze, and this is us coming up to the Isle of Coll, which is out to the west of Mull. The anchorage is Arnagower, and it has a ferry service that comes out daily, I believe, and it has a shop also which Muck doesn't have. So we're coming in here for provisions, and hopefully we can get a nice meal at the hotel as well, because there's very, very good food there. It's a dog's life.
Yep.
So here we have the main street of Arnagower. Lovely old, very Scottish cottage type. A lot of them with the extensions out the back, as you can see here. Across the road there's the gardens, just down onto the rocks. So we've got garden sheds and all sorts down here. The old pier down there, which doesn't have that much depth at low water, not as much as we've been in. And this is the bit of the bay for anchoring, and the moorings are out the back there. You can just see the boats coming around there. Now I'm just going to get a close in of this sign, because it says La Situterie, and I always knew bits in the garden that my mother called situteries, because it was sitting outside, a place to sit outside in the sun. So somebody's actually made this sign up. For those of you who have ever come across the Katie Morag children's books by Mary Hedderwick, this Arnagour was where they were all based, and there's the post office there. And if I just swing round a bit, down on this side of the loch is Granny Island's house. And say, if you know exactly what I'm talking about, if you've read the books. If not, then probably don't understand what I'm saying. Here at the head of the loch we have the Coll Hotel, which is what I mentioned earlier as we were coming in with the superb food. And we've got the distillery, which I believe is gin that they distill, and the stores, the general stores, which is quite a big building, and we'll be visiting that tomorrow. This is the opening times at the shop, and I just don't open for very long every day. Wednesday and Thursday, obviously you've got two choices, but otherwise it's just mornings only. But that will be because the shopkeepers themselves will have other jobs that they do in the afternoon. They might be delivering mail or firefighting, or I don't know, but there will be other jobs that they're not just putting their feet up and reading a newspaper in the afternoon. And this is the filling station. There wasn't one in Muck, but there is one here. Now, interestingly, they used to have a sign up. Oh yes, I can see the sign. Let's just move towards it, because this filling station is not open very often. So let's just see when it is. There we go. Can you read that? Summer opening times, Saturdays for 2 hours, Mondays for 2 hours in the morning, and Wednesdays for 2 hours in the afternoon. And that's it. That's when this filling station is open. I haven't seen any caravans out here, but here's a camper van park. And they've got the electrical hookups right round. I think there's enough for about 6 vans sitting here. Should you ever wish to come out with your camper van. And that's us walking out the village of Arnagour this evening. And we've got a bit of wilderness on one side of the road, and we've got some relatively well maintained fields on the other side. Wind turbines up in the hill, and in this field there are some horses, or ponies I expect. I'm not much of an expert on equine matters. And just looking back, the rest of the village is down the hill there. And this is the road stretching down towards the southwest and down towards the airfield. I'll call it an airfield because I believe that's what it is. But this road just keeps on going over the hills, and I think it's about 2-3 miles away maybe down to the airfield. Well, I've let the dogs off the lead because there's fences. A lot of sheep up there, but they are behind fences, and the road itself is very, very quiet. We haven't come across a car yet, but we'll make a grab for them if there's something coming down. Up here in the hills, I mean, we're not that high, but up here there's a lochan, or probably a tarn, if I'm being geologically correct. And out there it is the sea, and I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but in the distance a couple of islands, and the lower lying one is Staffa, which is basaltic rock, and it has the famous Fingal's Cave, which inspired Mendelssohn to write his Hebridean Overture. I am guessing, because of the ambulance sitting outside it, that this equates to either the doctor's surgery or the hospital for non-emergency, or maybe first emergency aid, and after that I'm guessing it's a helicopter to Glasgow. So this is the Coll Hotel, and the garden in the evening. No midges yet, but we might well be chased away. And there's the anchorage, the boat's out there, and all looks peaceful. And there's the village that we saw. We walked past the old stone jetty. So It's lovely. I like Coll. It's really nice. Piles of lobster creels here, although I think they probably pick up langoustine as well. So on our way back out to the boat, the dinghy hopefully is waiting for us down here. There she is. There's the ferry coming in. It will have been out at Tyree. It will have called in here first, that's why we saw all these camper vans on the road. And it will have gone on to Tyree. And that's it coming back for another call, and then it will go back to Oban. But it's quite a big ferry, it's quite a distance to come out in rough seas. We also have this solar panel which sits on top of the spray hood. We don't use it that much in Scotland because we don't normally have the weather for it, but today we have, and any little charge we can get into the battery any which way is a great help. And so far it's been out, sitting out for about an hour I think, and we've got about 0.2 of a volt back into the battery, which is doing really well. Well, this morning Andrew is there's several tasks to do in the boat, but primarily our toilet pump stopped working yesterday and he stripped it down. Best not to have got any of that on the camera, and it is still a bit of a leak, so he's dropped myself and the dogs off ashore for our morning walk while he's gone back out to the boat to try and see what he can. I think it just looks like a gasket that's not been put in correctly or has shifted as he was screwing it down. So he's out there doing that. We've also got a problem with our batteries, our boat batteries. They seem to have decided this holiday to fail. So whereas normally we'd expect them to be sitting just under 12 volts, perhaps they're down at 9.2. Fortunately, the manufacturers of the boat separate off the electrics so that the engine battery, there's a battery specifically for starting the engine, that doesn't get used for any of the other power things on the boat. So we should get the engine started, but if they failed that much, then it's going to take quite some time to get any charge back into the battery. So he'll be running those, and the other issues we've got, the belt on the alternator that when the engine's running, that does actually charge the batteries, is not very happy. It's shedding, and fortunately again we've got spares, so I think he'll be putting a spare onto the engine, and once the engine covers off, which is actually the steps to the companionway, it's much easier if he's there on his own and he's not having to deal with myself and two dogs. So I'm out where I'm walking across the island now, and by the time I come back it'll be an hour, a couple of hours maybe, and hopefully you'll have all these jobs finished. That's us reached the sandy beach on the west side of Coll, I'm just on the top of the dunes at the moment and about to head down onto the beach. I would usually be quite happy to let the dogs off the lead at the moment, but just behind me there are some sheep, so I might get down onto the sand where they can't see the sheep, and we'll see what it looks like before I let off the lead. All these expensive toys, and I should just have got a bit of dried seaweed. So we've come back up off the beach, through the dunes. There's still sheep around, and there's no way I can let the dogs off lead up here. But yeah, heading back to Arnagar now, which is through that gap over there. Well, I think that is the 10th car that has gone past us on a 5-kilometre walk, and so it's really quite a busy road, because in Muck I think we had 1 car or 2 cars. And the other thing to say is the dogs have got a bit thirsty, because I didn't think about bringing something for them to drink. There's usually running streams coming off the hillside and all sorts, but you can see that by all the bog cotton that's around. But it's all quite dry and very stagnant little puddles, so I've been a bit reluctant to let the dogs drink in them. But there's bog cotton, and the heather's not out yet, but there are some little orchids. I'm not sure what kind of orchids they are, and lots of the yellow bird's foot trefoils. No, don't eat it. This is one of those little orchids I was talking about. No idea what kind it is. Maybe somebody could tell me. There's another one over there. That's another cart. Well, it's a camper van. It's the second one that we've passed, or that's passed us on the way back to Arnagar. So I presume that ferry has just come in and it's a busy time. Here's the other flower that goes in profusion here, the nice beautiful yellow flag iris. Just waiting for Andrew to come in to pick us up now. He's on his way. I think these 2 dogs are quite happy to see him and get the breakfast. I hope the camera can pick this up, but that's us. We're in about 4 metres at the moment, and there's the dinghy. And you can see the bottom. I hope the camera can pick this up. The water is well, that's us leaving Coll. The wind has completely gone, so we're currently motoring, and we're heading back for Tobermory, and we've got to get back home either Saturday or Sunday, so it's time to turn around and start a slower process, but to get back to Cruise Marina.